Hi everybody. In this video I will be showing you all and talking to you about preparing some split peas and brown rice. This is a great combination, and in this particular recipe we won't be mixing the two together, like cooking them together. We'll be cooking them separately and eating them separately. So to combine the split peas and rice to get a complete protein, what you should do is, let's say, eat a few mouthfuls of the rice, followed by a few mouthfuls of the peas, and go back and forth, from one to the other until you're finished eating. And basically, what that does, that gives you, a pretty good way of mixing it all up in your stomach, and you get that combination of the peas and the rice for a complete protein. So I'll show you here how I'm going to get this all put together. Okay, so here in this saucepan, I have the brown rice. Okay, so you can see it, and this is just in a big saucepan. And so what you can see here, actually, though, is you can't really see it, but I have three different types of rice in here. They're all long grain brown rice, but they're from three different brands. What I have most of here in is Kroger brand rice. That's like a supermarket chain, Kroger. And then I also have some Essential Everyday is the brand name of the other one, sold in different supermarkets like Dierberg's and Shop and Save in the St. Louis area. And the third one is Great Value, that's made by Walmart. Now, the interesting thing about all these brands of rice is they all have 4 grams of protein per serving, and that's not necessarily characteristic of all types of brown rice. Some only have 3 grams of protein per serving. So I went out of my way to select some varieties that had 4 grams of protein per the same size serving. So this is the higher protein rice. So there it is in the saucepan. You can sort of see this. This camera distorts it a little bit, but that's my dictionary over there. So there you have it, and I'm going to put some sun-dried tomatoes in there, but I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. Okay, now here you can see I put some sun-dried tomatoes into the rice. These are California-style julienne cut. They're manufactured by Triana Foods, which is just some brand, I don't know. And they are sold in Walmart stores, but they're not Great Value brand, but they're sold over by in the produce area. And I'm going to actually break these up into smaller bits with my hands, and then I'll show you what that looks like after I get done with that. But I might have too much in here. Now, if you don't like to do this, or you can't get these, you can always add tomato paste near the end. After you turn off the heat and this rice is still hot, you can stir in, let's say, a small can of tomato paste to get the nice tomatoey flavor, but I'll talk about all that later. So this is what I have in here as of yet. I'm going to break these up, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. All right, so now, as you can see, I have these broken up, the tomato strips broken up into smaller pieces, so you can see what that looks like. Now, the next thing I'll do is cover the rice with some water, and there should be maybe the water should be at least twice as deep in the saucepan as the rice is, or maybe even 3 times that deep. So what I will do when I cook this, I will bring it on medium heat to a boil, and then I'll be stirring it the whole time. Let it boil. I'll turn down the heat a little more and let it boil, on very low boiling rate for a few minutes, and then I'll turn it off and let it sit for at least 20 minutes. And after that, I'll do the same thing, bring it up to a boil again, and as soon as it's boiling, I'll let it boil for a little while, and then I'll just turn off the heat and let it sit for another 20 minutes, and then the rice should be done. And I'll do basically the same thing for the peas. I'll show you that in a minute and talk about them. Okay, here are the split peas. These are in a smaller saucepan, and I have the saucepan about halfway full. So what I'll do is I'll add some water almost up to the top, and on pretty low heat I'll gradually bring these up to a boil, let them boil a little while. And then for the split peas, since they're split, I don't need to cook them any further. I'll just turn them off and let them sit for, I don't know, at least 20 minutes. But, I can boil them a little bit longer. When I'm boiling them, maybe a few minutes on low heat. Once they're boiling, I can turn down the heat. And so the main idea here is that you only cook these once, whereas you cook the rice twice. And so these peas, they can be eaten after being brought to a boil only one time. If you just boil them just a few minutes maximum or so, boil them a few minutes. You got to sort of experiment with this sort of thing. But you can see in there those are the peas, and this is a smaller saucepan. And by the way, now that I'm talking, when I'm done with the rice, after the rice cools down, I will probably stir in a little bit of sunflower oil into the rice. That's the type of oil I'm using these days. Tried lots of different types of oil. So then, that's basically it. So I'm going to get ready to go cook this. And these are the peas. Alright, so like I said, I'm getting ready to go cook the peas. And the peas and the rice and the peas, I'll cook them together. So I'll have them cooking at the same time. And you just go back and forth and stir. And then when they're all done, they'll be soaking. But the peas will only be cooked once. The rice will be cooked twice. And while the rice is soaking, and I mean, while the rice is cooling down, I'll get something else done, so I'll try to keep busy. And what's interesting about all this is that, you know, it just works out really well. It's a perfect recipe. I'm going to add the water. So like I said, I'm going to add lots of water to the rice and fill up that saucepan almost all the way to the top for the peas. And then we'll have some yummy, yummy food later. I'll show you what it looks like. All right. I'm back. At this point, I have finished cooking the rice, and this is what it looks like. It's still hot, so I didn't put it on the laptop. So let's see if this will focus. So you can see in there, it's really nice and well cooked. It's firm. It's really kind of, it really soaked up a lot of the water that I used in cooking. So I'm going to add some oil to it next, some sunflower oil. But let me get over here and see if you can see in there. So that's the rice. And like I said, there's the saucepan. And it's really going to be a lot of rice, so you know you don't have to eat this all in one day, but you can put it in the fridge, and you have some nice leftovers, so you don't have to cook when you're tired. You know, you get home or whatever, and you just feel so exhausted, you don't want to make yourself anything, so it'll be in the fridge ready. But you can see how the little bits of the tomato are in there and everything, and it's really going to be great. So let me add the oil, and then I'll get back with you and show you how that looks. All right. Okay, I've added in the oil. I don't know if you can see that. It looks much shinier. It really glistens now. So there's sunflower oil in there, and it's really not a lot of oil, but it looks super shiny. That's probably because this camera, which is a Samsung Tab S tablet, actually has a flash that I've turned on, and it is shining in there very brightly while the video is being recorded. So I've got this continuous flash going. It's just like a solid, really bright light. And that takes away the shadows in there, because if I didn't have this flash on, you'd have shadows in the saucepan. But you definitely see the reflection from the oil now on that rice. And okay, the next thing I'll do is show you the peas, and then I'll sign on out with an outro. Okay, so hope you enjoy this, and I'll get on to the peas now. All right, here are the peas. Oh, those look nice. Anyway, so you can see there they are. They really soaked up a lot of moisture. They really expanded upwards in the saucepan. And these are pretty nice and soft. They're not really super soft, but they're definitely cooked well. And like I said, these were only cooked once. So I brought these to a boil and boiled them for a little while, whereas the rice was cooked twice. But definitely you can get in there. Let's see. You can see that? Those are the peas. So I'll be eating this in a little while as soon as I do my outro. And so you can get this food. It's cheap. You can get split peas anywhere. I mean, they're just all over the place. Brown rice is all over the place. Good, readily available food. You can get it, you know, in a wide range of stores, supermarkets, smaller stores. And it's not all that costly. This food will be decent, high-protein food, natural food. And it doesn't cost a lot of money, but you can get a decent, you know, a really decent meal there. Actually, this will be worth more than one meal. This is enough food here to, you know, last, you know, maybe 2 or 3 meals, who knows, or maybe more, depends. You know, a little snacking here and there, but definitely got these peas here. So I'm gonna let you go from this, and I'll be back in a minute. Hi, I'm back. So yeah, I just finished that part about the peas, and excuse me, I hope you enjoy this. Like a lot of other people on YouTube are saying, if you really like this video, you can give it a like or the thumbs up. And you can also subscribe to my channel if you want. And, you know, I don't know, I can't promise I'm going to, you know, make a video every day or anything like that. As you can look at my history, I haven't really been regular about this. But food is great, you know, you need food to eat right. I mean, you need food to perform right, you know, whatever you're doing in life. And so that's it. We got a little meal here today. I hope this gives you some, inspiration, some food ideas, And I'm going to go ahead and say, enjoy yourselves and, enjoy your food, eat decent food, and have a great time. And thanks.